Hi, it's just me, BB, here with another video. One of the things I wanted to talk about today was my recent layoff. So earlier today, I was watching a video from a fellow YouTuber, Victor Odo, and I'll put the link for that video in the description box. But I was looking for content and messages and direction for the upcoming new moon. On April 30th, there's going to be a new moon in Taurus along with the solar eclipse. So I was looking for content that could give me some direction, some information on what energies to expect, and maybe some new moon rituals or ideas, things I should be thinking about with the upcoming new moon. So new moons are when you invite energy and things into your life, and full moons are when you release and let things go. So I wanted to be in sync with the energy of this upcoming weekend. And so I was listening to the video, and he talked about how you're growing. And so one of the things he talked about was how fear used to really trigger him in terms of and how he would respond. And so you're growing depending on how you respond to the triggers in your life. So on last week, well, actually it's been a couple of things, but on last week in particular, I got laid off for the second time in 6 months. So I got laid off last August, and I got laid off this April. So August, September, October, November, January, February, March, April. 8 months. So in 8 months, I've lost 2 jobs. Now, I know I'm growing. And this is how I know I'm growing. Because the old BB, oh my God, I would have been online like day in, like as soon as I heard I was laid off, and I'm going to tell you about it because it was it's kind of funny in hindsight. But I would have been up till 2 a.m., 3 a.m. looking for jobs, identifying every job I thought I could qualify for. And then I would have been submitting resumes for all of those jobs. And then I'd have been trying to find or think of people that I know in those industries that could potentially help me get those jobs. And I do know somebody that has a connect that I think can help me get a job, right? So I would have instantly been doing that. And instead, I did nothing. And that is not normal for me. That is, that definitely is the old BB and the new BB not doing anything. Like I don't remember exactly what I did that exact day that it happened, but I was calm. I didn't get alarmed. I was proactive and made sure I got like some of the names, like contact information for some of my clients that I might want to reach later. And then I started to figure out my next steps, and I really got quiet to try and hear what the universe was saying to me, to give me some direction in terms of what I should be doing next. So for the last 2-3 months, I have been getting well, for a long time I've known I'm supposed to be doing something other than just real estate. I'm always going to do real estate. I'm always going to do some form of real estate, but I'm also supposed to be doing something else other than real estate. I'm supposed to, and so I have some sense of what those things are. This YouTube and channel is part of what those things are. So, but I've been getting confirmation on that every month. January, February, repeated messaging, YouTubes, I call them breadcrumbs. When little things happen in your life and they're breadcrumbs, they're leading you to what you're supposed to be doing and where you're supposed to be. So I've been getting all the signs, and I kept putting it off. And I say to people every week, if not every day, oh, I'm going to do a YouTube video on that, or that's going to be the first chapter in my book, or I really need to create a seminar on that. And so I know I'm supposed to be doing this other stuff, but my real estate hat keeps me so busy that like 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, I'm just finishing up with clients. I'm not trying to create anything new for myself. I'm definitely not trying to record videos. I'm not writing action plans. I'm not creating content. I'm not creating courses. I'm not working on my coaching modules, any of that, because I'm tired. So, like I said, I've been getting the prompt to move in this new direction for some time now. So when I heard that there were potential layoffs, and actually, just as a little FYI, the company laid off people probably like the first week or second week I started. Then they laid off people again in like January. They did this massive layoff last year, 900 people. Then they did another layoff or two the first quarter of this year. And they kept saying it wouldn't be the real estate team because the real estate team is the team that's bringing in income. But in my mind, I kind of had decided, well, if it is the real estate team, I would be okay with that, because if I get a severance, a halfway decent severance, that will allow me time where I'm not working, and I can finally spend the time I need doing things that I really am, or transitioning to this new thing. And so I'm literally in the office working, sending emails, following up on deals from the night before. I've got a settlement in 2 days. I'm reaching out to people. And all of a sudden I went back into the email to do something, and it kept saying your password isn't working. I was like, I just used that password. How's that password not working? So that's when I realized, like, did you get laid off? Were you like one of the people that got laid off this morning? So I never got the call. They said they were going to call everybody. I didn't get a call. Email stopped working. So the first day, I didn't panic. I just calmly, like I said, I reached out to one or two. Well, I didn't reach out to anybody that day because I didn't want to be laid off or not laid off and telling people that I am. So I said, don't do anything. So I literally didn't do anything. Second day, I did say, let me reach out at least to the people that I think are expecting to see me Thursday for this settlement. So I did reach out to them, and they let me know somebody else had contacted them. So then I said, okay, you're definitely laid off. They've given your clients to other people. You're laid off. So at this point, I'm pretty confident I've been laid off, but I don't know if I got a severance. I didn't even really get a chance to read that email because I was busy working on some other stuff. So I'm like, I don't know the details of the layoff. I don't know how much severance. I don't have any money in the bank, so they haven't given me any. You just laid off. You might not be getting paid anything. So in addition to my first trigger, which would have been to anxiously start applying for jobs. I mean, like, let me find this job, tee up my resume. That would have been my first thing. Instead of doing any of that, and then my second thing would have been, what's wrong with you? You ain't good enough that somebody wants you to work for them? So what? You were closing a $1.35 million deal. Clearly that wasn't good enough. They fired you, or they laid you off, right? And it would have been, I would have started attacking me in terms of my competency, my confidence. I would have been, and it wouldn't have been out loud. It would have been in my head. I would have been quietly anxious, quietly just kind of emasculating myself about what's wrong with you, that you couldn't keep a job and that you got laid off twice in 6 months. And this time I didn't do that. This time, and it tried. And this is how I know I'm winning. This is how I know I'm growing. This is how I know, because it tried. It tried so hard to creep in. Like, well, so-and-so, he ain't even as good with people as you, and he still got a job. What's wrong with you? And I just pushed those thoughts and emotions, because it's not just the thoughts. It's not, and it's so much not what you say. Because so often you're not talking to anybody else. You're having a meeting of the minds with yourself, right? So I didn't articulate any of this verbally, and when I tried to mentally think of it, I fought it. But you still have to fight the emotions that are coming in that say you're not good enough. And I want to say it was Wednesday night where it kind of got like the biggest struggle was. And somewhere between Wednesday night and Thursday, I had to kick into this is an opportunity. It's not a bad thing. You have been saying for months, if not years, when do you ever have an opportunity where somebody pays your bills and allows you to, like literally, I just said this to somebody like a week ago. When do you have an opportunity to sit around and create and your bills get paid? Nearly, it has never happened. There's no nearly. It has never happened. I've never been married. I've never had a live-in partner. So I've always been responsible for my own bills. And so I know I'm growing because I didn't allow those two things to take over all the energy of me. See, the old BB, and you're gonna hear me say that quite a bit. And that's because I'm proud. I'm happy. I like this BB. I love the BB that the person I'm becoming, which is, I believe, the authentic BB that was always supposed to be here. But you don't know that. You have to fight through all the constructs and the expectations and the family stuff that you were born into, and dig out to find yourself. So I feel like I'm finding or have found myself. And so I simply said, you know what? Opportunity. Now what can we do with it? So then I started to say, okay, let's get organized. Let's get our thoughts organized. Let's put down on paper. I'm the walking to-do list, girl. You can't see it because of the way the light's shining on it. There you go. Maybe you can see that. I'm the walking to-do list, girl. I walk around. I keep a list of things that I need to do with me. And on the back side, I tend to keep the items, the action I either have already taken, notes from that conversation that are helpful, and or notes that I come up with that I need to somehow incorporate into the to-do list. So I said, let's do that. But the first day, that Tuesday, that Wednesday, before I started doing, because that's what, like I said, the first thing I would have done was look for jobs. The second thing I would have done was had all these emotions about how you're not good enough. And so instead, I made myself just relax before I started doing. You always want to run out and do. It keeps you from feeling what you're feeling. Just don't do anything for a minute. Just be. And so that's what I did. I watched TV. I cooked good food. I laid around in my pajamas. I allowed myself to be. And so, and then Thursday when I woke up, it was some money in my bank. Well, I hadn't even seen it. I sent an email saying, hey, I think I've been laid off, but could somebody call me and confirm? I've not gotten a phone call. I haven't gotten an email, and I haven't gotten a letter. Can you guys tell me something? I just don't have access to the system. I just need to know something, please. So then they called. Someone responded to the email, then someone called, and when I checked my bank account, a deposit had been made. And so that was that anxiety that was trying to creep in. It helped when I had something tangible that was like, hey, look, you're going to be okay. You just said that this has never happened to you. This is what you want. You're going to be okay. But one of the things the other thing that I didn't do, I try to be an open book. I try to be authentically who I am all the time with the people that I love and are important to me. So I would have shared with the people that love me. Oh, I got laid off today. And I didn't do that for two reasons. I didn't do it because the first reason is because I would then have to spend energy explaining and defending and then those emotions that I was already having to manage within myself, I would have had to manage from external forces. That wouldn't have been helpful. And the second thing is they would have then been worried about me. So instead of me taking care of me, I would have been trying to take care of them. Make sure they're comfortable, make sure they don't feel like they're going to be overwhelmed because of what's going on with me, that they're going to have to take care of me, create any unnecessary worry. So I just didn't say anything. And that was another fight because I really wanted to tell. I wanted to tell everybody. I wanted to tell my soon-to-be ex-boyfriend. I wanted to tell my new best friend. I wanted to tell my sister wife. I wanted to tell, there's just so many people, Jackie, there's so many people I wanted to just say, hey, you're not going to believe what just happened to me. But I didn't do any of that. So got some money in the bank. Starting to get a plan. I know what it is I'm supposed to be doing. I just need to get a strategy on how to be. Not to be doing it, but how to just be. And so I listened to that tape today and I heard a couple of good things that came out. I mean, I want to say everything is confirming everything that I already heard. But today when he said, you know you're growing because you aren't as easily triggered, I knew that was for me. And I saw the proof in this past, in my response to being laid off. I saw that proof just this week. Thank you for listening to my YouTube. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll be back with more from It's Just Me, BB.